Welcome back to Putting You On. I'm your host, the female Don Dada. This is a podcast where we dive into cyber psychology of the online life in the world of technology. You're probably wondering, what is cyber psychology, right? Well, cyber psychology is the study of how humans and technology interact in good ways and also bad ways. So, the not so good ways. Today, we speak on my favorite influencer to ever hit the internet, to ever hit the United States of America, the lady that I grew up with, the lady that I loved the realness, the internet hated the realness, right? Ari Fletcher, aka the real Kyle sister, aka the Dawn. So, let me break it down to you what just happened. Late August 2025, Ari Fletcher posted a positive message about gym lifestyle, and the internet decided to drag her. So it raised the question, why did a motivational tweet about fitness turn into a digital war zone? Well, don't worry. This is a podcast where we study how we think and behave and feel online. So let's really just dive into this. Now, personally, I love Ari, and if you ask me, she didn't do anything wrong, like at all. And I feel like you guys went a little too hard on her. I think it was kind of mean girlish. Like, you guys try to jump her into a fraternity or sorority of like, you gotta do this, and you're not valid enough to do this. And it's like, well, dang, she been in the game for a minute. She's been influencing before gym influencers were a thing. So the tweet was, I'm gonna put my best Ari impression on, or what I feel like how she said it. So many gym girlies now, keep up the good work. This is a lifestyle, not a trend. 8/29/2025. That was when it was posted and sent to X. So the question is, why did Ari's tweet trigger people so badly? Well, from a cyber psychology standpoint, it starts with perceived authenticity. You're probably like, girl, what you talking about? Well, the belief that someone is real and consistent in their self-presentation. So what happened was Ari posted about fitness being a lifestyle, but because she's had liposuction, people saw her message as fake or very much misleading. Like she's giving, the wrong dog food to the wrong breed, kind of, if that makes sense. People didn't just see her post, they judged her worthiness to even make the post. You know what I mean? So, in digital culture, if you're not perceived as authentic, your message doesn't have any, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't get any trophies, you don't get any love. All you're going to do is lead yourself to backfire. And that is what happened. You guys tore her up, actually. And that's where parasocial judgment is the one to judge, no pun intended. Parasocial judgment is one-sided relationship where followers feel emotionally connected to public figures and act if they know them way personally than others. And it's kind of very delusional, but since we all have influencers and people we do like on the internet, it's very much true. We have these parasocial relationships and it turns into that. I spoke about this on the Love Island episode. It was all parasocial, but this was more of a parasocial judgment that you can't speak on lifestyle and gym fitness. You had liposuction. Who do you think you are? So the fans and critics felt personally betrayed as though Ari had violated unspoken community rules, whatever that means. So when you build a following online, you're not just posting, you're performing a relationship. And the second your choice no longer aligns with your audience, quote unquote, the fantasy of you, of who you are, well, it comes to an end and they'll come for you. And that's exactly what y'all did. That's exactly what y'all did to Ari. Y'all came for her. There were comments like, this is why store bought bodies should remain quiet. Mind you, I went to the Instagram. I said, there's no way you got that body in the gym. There's no way. And if I did want to dive into her social media account to truly see where she was coming from, I promise you guys I could have found something. But I'm not no forensic cyber psychologist yet. Coming very soon to a store near you. And then there was a comment where she thinks she a pioneer in the gym or something. LMFAO. Girl, if you don't sit your down, I'm not gonna cuss, but if you don't sit your tail down, and so much more. It was actually quite disgusting to see all those comments about her because it was really a positive message and it just turned so ugly so quick. And I just have to really think now, as a person, ask yourself, you come on the internet to shed positivity on the gym. It's more than a trend, it's health benefits that will affect you for the better and in the long term in general. And all of a sudden, you get all this backlash and all this disgusting hate comments. And it's like, why did the backlash spiral so aggressively so quick? Right? Well, it's because y'all provoked Ari. Y'all provoked her. Same day, same tweet. You guys provoked her. And you made it a scene on the internet. And it was like, since you guys provoked Ari, and if you know Ari, she's going to step every time and has also dialed back on her clapbacks over the years. But do we want to acknowledge that on the internet? No, we don't want to acknowledge that she's grown as a person. We don't want to acknowledge that she's doing the best that she can do with what she has. We're not going to acknowledge the fact that she's growing as a person. We want to rage bait her. And that is exactly what happened. If you're wondering what rage baiting is, y'all do it probably almost every day. I don't, because, I love people and I want to spread love, positivity, and vibes. And rage baiting is the content that provokes strong emotional reactions to drive engagement. And that's exactly what you guys did. So, Ari's clapback tweet set the whole internet in quite a frenzy from X to Instagram to TikTok. It just didn't stop. It went going and going and going and going. And honestly, what's today? I think this is Friday, the first week of Friday of September, and it's still going, right? It just didn't stop. The Ari tweet that had the whole internet in a frenzy. She said, let's be clear. Just Jim will never give you that hourglass figure. If I had to go back in time, I still would have got my lipo and then gym. So why you buff gals with no hips keep atting me? Cause y'all mad I said it's a lifestyle? Please be quiet. Girl, I was in the field getting to it while you was working on your quads. If I encourage women to go to the gym now, it is what it is. Side eye. Bombastic. Side eye. And honestly, that was the clean version. I didn't even tell you what she truly said in the tweet. That was the clean version of that tweet. Okay? Was she correct? Chat, for real though. Like, was she correct? In my opinion, she was. And she has a point. Hourglass figure is a bone structure. And I feel like we keep missing that point. Hourglass figure is a bone structure. So you can be a big gal, right? You can be heavy. What I mean by big gal, I mean heavy set gal. And you can still have that hourglass figure because the way your body is proportioned, it's big on the top, skinny in the waist, big at the bottom, right? And what people don't understand, you can get that gym illusion of an hourglass in the gym. You can get the illusion of an hourglass in the gym, but it will never be a true hourglass. You have to have a bone structure of hourglass. And I also think as a community, we mix pear shape and hourglass figures, and we just don't know the true definition of it. You know what I mean? It's quite interesting to see the debate online because when the tweet hit, everybody had something to say. They even posted themselves in the gym. And I'm like, girl, that's not no hourglass figure. Girl, you shaped like a pear. All that weight goes down to the bunda. You know what I'm saying? It's not hourglass. Once she said you can't get that hourglass in the gym, it sparked emotional contagion. Emotional contagion is a spread of emotional states, especially anger or outrage, across networks. One angry comment turned into hundreds and hundreds of people. Even people with no opinion jumped into the comments because the tone had already been set. Comments like this: Gym will definitely give you the shape you want. The BBL girls need to hush.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And then it had me think, when did Ari say she had a BBL? When did Ari Fletcher, the real Kyle's sister, ever say that she had a BBL? Like for real, like she's so transparent. When did she ever say, "Yeah, I got my bunda done"? She never said that. She doesn't even have a BBL. She's had lipo. She's always had that. She's always had lipo. She's always had a bunda. And then we have comments like, she be forgetting people were working out before the BBL bandits came out. And then we have another comment like, she be forgetting people were working out before the BBL bandits came out. It was just, and I think it was a copy. Honestly, looking at my records, I think it was a copy and paste type situation because these came from two different users at the time. And mind you, I got this information from the Hollywood Unlocked Instagram, and it was just hate comment after hate comment after hate comment. And it's just like, what is going on? And the list just goes on and on and on of all this hate. Like it was so bad. Like it was so bad. And then it just became a contest of who was the worst insult. You know, one person's anger became the group's mood, and soon the whole timeline isn't even debating anymore. They're performing. They're like, which is the best insult for the likes and the follow? Which one's the best? Show me the best. Show me your one. You know, and it had me think again. This is way bigger than Aria. It's way bigger. It's the illusion of the natural body online. And that's when selective self presentation and curating a certain way you present yourself online while others are hiding theirs. They're hiding theirs, guys. Nothing you see online is real. Everybody's putting on a show. That is what self presentation is. It's putting on that show, and it's selective. Ari was always honest about her lipo, but many influencers who post natural, quote unquote, natural gym content don't disclose their cosmetic enhancements like BBLs, lipo, breast implants. Y'all, they even on steroids, right? The irony is, Ari's getting dragged for being honest, while others build brands off an illusion. And it's not just about working out, it's about what people choose to show and what they decide to leave out, right? It all leads to impression management. Impression management is the strategies we use to influence how others perceive us. Fitness influencers often brand themselves as having that natural bod by posting gym routines, but they're not going to disclose that medical intervention that they had 6 months ago. Ari was punished for not managing her impression the way others do. And it has me think Ari has never been a gym influencer, but she's always been an influencer on Instagram. She always showed us her life from Yoshan, from dating G Herbo, from the cars, from what she eats in a day. She is the influencer. She's what an influencer would want to be, even if they did gym influencing, because she hits more than just the gym girlies now. She's hitting the girls with the BBL. She's hitting the girls with the lipo. Her community is only going to get stronger from this hate. And just because they didn't tell you that they got work done doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just because your gym influencer told you, yeah, you do these 4 to 10 reps, push up, push up, push up, yeah, follow me, does not mean they're not on steroids. I have a couple of homeboys. I got a couple of people that I follow and stuff like that, but I've seen them in the gym for years. And it's honestly because I've been on their Instagram since I was in high school, you know what I'm saying, and middle school. I grew up with these people. So I've seen them build their muscles over the years. So it's a different type of timing that we're on. But fitness influencers really go through a lot. They have to keep up an image. And Ari has always had her own identity. And that's where a lot of people fail to realize. And has always been honest with us with her enhancements from her facial balancing, from her lips, from her breast augmentation, from her lipo. You can clearly find the receipts. The receipts are online. They have an archive of Ari. She's. I hate to. I've never been the one to tell you that she's a legendary, honey. This is a legendary person. If you don't know Ari Fletcher, you probably seen Ari Fletcher. You seen Ari Fletcher. Everybody tried to pick up what Ari was doing late 2020s. You know what I'm saying? Well, early 2020s. You know what I mean? And Ari didn't play the game right. That's what it is to y'all. Ari didn't play the game right. And that's what's really, bothering people. Not the lipo, but the refusal to lie about it. You guys want someone to lie to you. You want somebody to tell you, yeah, you can get that body in the gym. Yeah, push up, bro. Yeah, lock in, bro. No. Sometimes you do gotta lay on that table, stink of it. Sometimes you do. No shade, friend. No shade, friend. Sometimes if you want that body the way you want it to look, you might have to lay on that table. No pun intended. If you want, it's your body, your choice. But the question here is, why are women always the ones being picked apart online? And it's not just by women, it's by women. It's like woman on woman crime and then men on women crime. And it's just woman is always the issue here. And that's where we talk about misogyny, but it's digital misogyny. And digital misogyny is the targeting and shaping of women in online spaces for how they look, speak, unfortunately, even exist. Ari's body already was under a microscope and it became the center of a debate that's still going on right now. She didn't ask for that. She gave positivity. You guys decide to throw out hate. People weren't debating fitness, they were attacking her. Whether you're natural or not, thick or slim gal, loud or soft. If you're a woman online, someone will find a way to tell you you're wrong. And that comes to a point where it's just surveillance culture. And it's alive and it's a well. It's alive and it's well, y'all. And surveillance culture is the social practice of constantly watching and judging and commenting on others, especially in the digital spaces. And I kind of look at surveillance culture like digital stalking. It's like hand on hand. It's hand on hand the digital stalking. And people didn't just disagree with Ari, they dissected her body, her words, her identity, and made her a case study for what not to be. We don't just scroll anymore, we like to audit. Every post becomes evidence for or against someone's right to speak. This wasn't just about Ari or fitness, it was about online culture, female identity, and truth versus performance. If everyone's curating their body online, is anyone really natural? Or is honesty just the new rebellion? Well, y'all know who it is. Thank you. I'm the female Don Dada, and I encourage you to think twice before dragging someone for being honest and invite them to share their own gym slash fake body perception. I'm out. So I see y'all next time.